We'll be going to our scheduled soccer game featuring NCCS versus MAI in just a moment. In the meantime, I'm going to address a problem that's on the minds of a lot of North Country residents of late. And that's the rumors concerning the possible closing of the local bindery systems division plant, what we've been calling the Harris Graphics Corporation. My comments are going to be a combination news report and editorial, and as is the case with any of my editorials, we'll gladly give equal time to any responsible individual who wants to appear here on our Access channel to respond to what I have to say. The rain and the haze of this September afternoon help paint a picture of what's going on inside this plant in the village of Champlain. For more than a month now, rumors of the possible closing of this plant have been circulating around the northern tier. And according to the sources that I've been able to speak with, and also according to the article that appeared in today's Plattsburgh Press Republican, officials of AM International will neither deny nor confirm these rumors. AM International bought the Harris Graphics Company a couple of months ago, around May, and all decisions regarding the fate of this plant are being made in Chicago. After considering it for a couple of weeks now, I decided that today it was time that Hometown Cable, I should say, looked into this matter. I wanted to know what, if anything, our local officials were doing to see that this plant is kept open. It seems that we've always spent a lot of time courting new businesses for the northern tier. When something like this here happens, everyone just sits around sitting on their hands, and nothing seems to get done. So I called Town of Champlain Supervisor Leo Letourneau to find out what the town was doing. He told me the Town Economic Development Director, I believe that's his title, Mark Barry, had called him, meaning Supervisor Letourneau, and that Mr. Letourneau thought that Mr. Barry was going to be doing something about this, although he was not sure of anything specific. He was certain that Mr. Barry was looking into it. So I questioned Supervisor Letourneau a little bit further and found that he had really, personally, had done nothing on this, but he did have plans to look into it in a not-too-distant future. I called Mr. Barry's office and was told that he was out for the afternoon. Hopefully I'll hear from him tomorrow, and we'll find out what, if anything, his office is doing. I then decided to take this matter one step further, and I called State Assemblyman Chris Ortloff in Albany and asked what he thought of the matter and what he could do to help keep the plant open. I asked him if this was falling within his jurisdiction, and he said the problem with matters like this is it doesn't really fall into anyone's jurisdiction, and that too often everyone sits back waiting for someone else to get it done, and nothing ever gets done. He was aware of the rumors. He said he'd even spoken to someone from Shazy who was concerned about the problem recently. I told him what little I knew as far as names to contact at AMI in Chicago. And Chris told me that he was going to talk to these people, and to quote him, he said, "They're damn well going to talk to me." The article in the paper today says that they refused to respond to reporter Steve Manor's phone calls. The response out there in Chicago is that they're either out of town on business, in a meeting and can't be disturbed, or just stepped out of office for the moment. Our Assemblyman Chris Ortloff said he would try to get more of a response than that. And he's going to look into it to try to see what can be done to keep this plant here. Some of the things I heard in talking to some of the people today was filling this plant after Harris leaves, or counseling for people who have been laid off. I think that's kind of a defeatist attitude. If you agree, then by all means contact Champlain Village Mayor Oro Parsons, Supervisor Leo Letourneau, anyone else that you think might be of assistance here. Let's let the people in Chicago at AMI know that their decision is going to affect lives here, not just dollars and cents in a corporate ledger somewhere. A different type of scare was occurring in Champlain this afternoon. A bomb scare. Traffic was rerouted at the Champlain exit 42 heading north. bomb scare was at the Canadian port of entry. I talked to Superintendent Lalone. He said traffic was stalled at the border for about an hour and 15 minutes. When I talked to him at 4:30, traffic was going through. This is the second one this week. Traffic was detoured to Route 276. He said it causes a bit of a problem, but there's not much they can do. They check every area that's accessible to the public, and as soon as every area has been checked, they reopen the route for traffic. Going to go down to our soccer game.
That is dry out now.
Yeah. About how many pollutants will they be testing for?
About 40, 45. I can't count them there. I got some of this. No, I don't have a sample result. About 45.
Are they looking for stuff besides what Harris might have dumped? Stuff that Harris or other people might have dumped?
Pretty much that type of scan is pretty much an indicator scan. So we'll end up with a lot more things than what Harris told us they supposedly put here. So if we start getting some other peaks and stuff, they'll all come back out as results.
Site Moore, is it the old Moore's landfill, or is it the Clinton County?
Cleveland County Moors. Here's an old Moors landfill. I just don't know where it is.
Yeah, it's up on the Garen Road. It's far right from where I live.
Where is it?
On the Garen Road, it's off Route 11.
We didn't drive by there.
I was pulled down, in the county landfill opened up 10 years ago. 9 years ago?
About 75, 76, somewhere in there.
Let's see what comes up in the litter search and that. red discoloration, I don't know if you can see it too much today. On this ground, that red discoloration is pretty typical.
There used to be a lot more of that stuff down there. I don't know. Seen that much.
Well, it's kind of a dry spring.
Actually, right now isn't actually the best time to see it.
Right after a rain,
Yeah.
you got mostly fresh water in there, huh?
So,
What, do you take soil samples off the surface, or?
not today. We come back out here, take sediment type samples for certain types of parameters that we think are there. Let's say there was PCB, which is one of the ones we never suspect here unless we had some reason to. Those typically bind up really well with soil.